What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another Minecraft video. Again, we are on the Ardacraft server, which is working to recreate the Middle-earth, Lord of the Rings, the Middle-earth, the world of Middle-earth, and they are doing an incredible job with it. And we are going to be looking through several of their builds today and through the nature and such like that. Super excited for our walkthrough today. And again, we have Fornad with us. Hello, Fornad.
Hello, welcome back.
But yeah, what are we looking at? What are these two towers that we are that are before us currently?
So these are the White Towers. They are three tall towers. We can only see two of them right now. There is one further north. Three tall towers, and they were located far to the west of the Shire in the Tower Hills, as they were known. The tallest of them, and the central one, was called Elostirion, and it has one of the Palantirii in it, and from that you can look in the Palantir and see the very far west, the Elven kingdom to the far west. And it's from the top of Elostirion. It said that you could see the sea. Obviously, not in Minecraft.
Yes.
Would we that we had such a render distance? But yeah. So I think what we'll do now is we'll have a look around Elostirion itself, which is the northernmost tower, or not the northernmost, the central tower. So
Okay.
yeah, if you come down to the bottom, there is an entrance. We can have a look around.
So is this? So when you say Palantir, is it that like the crystal ball that that they have that Saruman has, like one of those, or is that
Yes,
not?
it's one of
Okay.
those exactly. Yeah. So there were 7 of those originally created, and they were created by Feanor, who was the greatest elven smith to ever live. And from them, you could kind of communicate with each other. So if two people had a Palantir, they could communicate each other across long distances, and you could also see visions of the future and the past and so on.
Yes.
They were a lot of them were lost and destroyed over time, but the Palantir here was one of the few that was preserved, and the elves used it to kind of see into the far west. These towers were built by the Elven king Gil-galad for Elendil, who was his friend. Elendil was Aragorn's distant ancestor, the kind of founder of Arnor and Gondor, kind of legendary figure in Middle-earth's history.
Yes.
So we'll keep going up. This is a very tall tower.
Yes, I can tell. It's just like we're climbing stairs for the past minute or so.
Exactly.
All right. Are we almost there?
We should be almost there. It is quite a big tower. Oh god, it keeps going. Yeah, almost there. I think this is the last.
Hopefully we don't
stairs.
fall off. But yeah, you can tell the architecture is very elegant.
Yes, and this represents the Palantir for now. We are actually going to be updating to 1.8 soon, which also means custom models, of course. And so when we have custom models, we're going to be making a nice little circular Palantir to go here, which will be in a really great detail for anyone exploring.
Oh, that'll be so cool. I'm looking forward to that. We'll have like some kind of magical, like, are you going to have like an RPG element to this at some point?
That is a difficult question. We might do eventually, but for now, it's probably just going to be the circular ball. I think, yeah, in the distant future, I think that is kind of roughly the plan, but it's tough to tell at the moment. We are still very much focused on building.
Because it would be very neat if there was some sort of magical, like some kind of property that you could access in the RPG element and be able to quote unquote see things. I don't know. That's just a weird thing. But anyways. Let's make our climb back down the stairs, unless if you want to teleport out of here.
I'll teleport you outside
that would
just
be
so you
better.
can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, very cool.
Yeah. So it's, as you can see, this is very different to anything people have seen before on these videos. This is absolutely an elven style of building. Very elegant, very impressive. A far cry from the buildings of the Shire in Bree.
There is a chimney here. Does that mean there's an underground to this
Yes,
as well?
there's a small little guard room underneath.
I'm gonna go down there just really fast.
Yeah.
Just gonna go check out what you guys got down here. Very cool. Got some carpet. Little place. All right. So is this being guarded by elves or are men guarding it? Like the
elves are guarding it. Yeah.
Okay.
So the Palantir, of course, was very special to the elves. They wanted to preserve and keep these towers.
Speaking of custom models,
much danger. Mm-hmm.
I said speaking of custom models, you got these chairs in here.
Yeah, so these are Bibliocraft chairs. It's something we added a while back. It's a separate mod. But when we update to 1.8, we're going to be removing that mod and adding our own custom models and custom chairs. Just so we kind of everything in a single mod, essentially. But it was a temporary fix.
These armor stands.
Yeah.
Are you going to be adding in elven armor?
Yes. We
Okay.
will. That is definitely planned. So as you can see,
Oh,
it's
that's
kind
so
of
cool.
it's kind of a quick fix at the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really cool. Why don't you tell the viewers how they can come over and see this world for themselves?
Of course. So what you do is you go to our website, ardacraft.me. That'll be in the description. You go to the mod pack page. It's the tab at the top, and then you either download the launcher, which will do everything for you, or the self-install, which you have to basically move a few files into your Minecraft folder, and then it's done. And then you should be able to join. Very easy to join, very easy to install, and a huge amount to see on the server that we're not showing in these videos. So definitely come on.
Yes, and the links to all that will be in the description below, so don't be afraid. Just click those links, follow the downloads, follow the instructions, and come join this server because there's so much to see.
Absolutely.
So, let's move on.
Absolutely, let's go on. What we'll be doing now is we'll be warping because there is quite a distance between here and our next location. But our next location is the elven city of Mithlond, or the Grey Havens as they were also known. I'll just teleport you
I'm
right
gonna look
outside
down
the
because
city.
I don't want people to see everything until it's all loaded up.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I'll look this way. But yeah, this here is Mithlond. This is actually, would you say this is your biggest project you've completed on the server so far?
Oh, well, it's not completed.
Oh,
but,
okay, well,
it is,
the biggest
it
project, the biggest, like, one city that you have built so far.
It's the biggest thing we've attempted so far, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it is at least 5 times larger than Bree. So, yeah,
Oh,
it's
look
big.
at this.
It's a
so
proper-
beautiful.
it's
The
a proper
architecture
city.
is so elegant, and I love it about it. I'm looking
Exactly.
forward to seeing you guys finish the nature around it, like the hill underneath the castle part, or the fort, palace, whatever that's supposed to be. That's going to be so nice. It's so beautiful. But if you guys have seen the nature of Ardacraft, what they do, you guys would have to watch the video before this, and just imagine that level of detail and that level of design, and it'll be added into this build. And we can just walk through here, and you can tell just how incredible it is. So they have a fountain. Is this being... No, I'm just kidding. I've always been a stickler on fountains, because I don't... Unless if there's like a hill up above it, but it adds a very neat feature.
Yeah, definitely when it comes to the elves in general, you'll see later on there's a gigantic stone bridge that stretches across this chasm. And when it comes to the elves, you kind of have to leave some of the realism.
You
that
gotta
we
leave
go
the
for
realism behind you. You just gotta, you gotta
you've gotta go
embrace
for
the fantastical.
Exactly,
Yes.
because the elves, Tolkien himself said that there's this kind of magic to them, and it's not really magic, it just comes from the fact that these people live for thousands of years and they're able to perfect their arts, whatever it may be. And if they're builders, if they're masons, they can create the most, incredible structures that humans never have been able to achieve.
You guys have done an incredible job adding in these little bit of carved blocks and everything. It really adds in that elven feel. And the different colors of blue roofs, very good job on that.
Yeah, definitely.
I like how you changed the brown clay into that cayenne clay.
Yes.
That looks very nice.
We've done a lot of there's a lot of custom blocks in the city which help add to the atmosphere and to the look of it. One of the best things we have actually is these pillars, for example.
Yes.
This is like an elven pillar. So stuff you won't find in normal Conquest.
And for those of you that are wondering, the Ardacraft server uses a mod pack that they have created themselves, and they have custom textures and everything. So basically, you can access everything in a custom menu. All these blocks and everything. They have actually 3 menus. Last time I remember there's only 2. But anyways,
yeah, we've added a lot of blocks.
there is a ton of blocks, and it's all organized. You have windows and different things. So much to see. So come check it out, and maybe even come be a member of the server. There's so much to see, so much to do, and they definitely need help for a project
We
of this
need
size.
all the help we can get, absolutely. Yes. So we'll be moving now into the kind of central part of Mithlond. For those of you who are not sort of massive Lord of the Rings fans, you might not recognize the name Mithlond. The Grey Havens is also known as the place right at the end of Return of the King, where Frodo and the other hobbits came, and Frodo and Gandalf left and sailed into the west along with Bilbo.
Yes.
As you only see a very small part of it really in the films, and it's presented quite differently to the way we've done it here. So kind of coming, they only showed a tiny little part of it, so we have to extrapolate a huge amount. and Tolkien never really described the city either. So this is very much our own interpretation.
I love the
If you just fly out
roads and
here-
the levels. It's so elegant, and that's again just like I said in the last video with the hobbits. Like you could definitely tell it's a hobbit style. You could definitely tell it's from Lord of the Rings. Same thing goes for this. You can definitely tell it's elven. You can see the elegance in it, the majestic nature of it, and it's so.
Yeah, talking about majestic stuff, just fly up a little bit
check
here.
That out.
And
That's
look at the bridge.
Beautiful.
Yes. Definitely one of the central features of Mithlond, I would say.
So what is that bridge? What is the purpose of it?
Well, it's just essentially to cross these two cliffs here. There's a kind of central line of like large mansions and buildings along the this ridge, and they needed something to cross. So, and it looks good too.
Yeah, it really
That's
does.
a big part of it. And this here, if we actually go from the bridge, this here is the palace. So they don't have a king anymore. He was killed about 3,000 years ago by Sauron in that massive battle you see at the beginning of Fellowship of the Ring.
Yes.
It's called Gil-galad. And his banners are still here. His legacy is still kept. And he was the last of the High Kings of the Noldor, who were an elven clan.
It's a very pixely flag.
Yeah, definitely should be. We need to make it a bit more high res. The interiors are not especially done in here, so don't.
Yeah, we won't walk through.
Yeah. Well, we can have a look. We can have a look at the central courtyard. This is still it's still preserved. This massive palace is still preserved.
Oh, I love this.
And this is where he ruled from. So we based this a lot on I think there were a few French kind of chateaux that we looked at, and so that kind of sense of elegance and civilization and culture and all that stuff is all here.
And these pave stones are very nice. I like the little circular patterns and such like that. Very cool. So where are we going now?
This is the main feasting hall and meeting hall.
Okay. So elves absolutely do not eat meat.
Oh
right?
no, that's a misconception.
Oh really?
Yes, it's only a certain. This is the throne room, by the way. It's only a certain section of the elves who don't eat meat. The green elves, the ones who live in the forest. Most of the elves, no problem at all with it.
That actually really surprises me. I did not know that elves in Lord of the Rings actually did eat meat. Because every elf you see in Lord of the Rings, well, I guess especially in The Hobbit, it just makes you think that all they eat is.
Yeah, I wouldn't take the Hobbit films as being a source of lore on Lord of the Rings. I'd say they really jumped the shark.
Well, that's very cool. Very cool to know.
So we'll fly out through, I think, this exit here. Again, this is all very work in progress, which is worth remembering. And we'll fly out towards kind of Círdan's house and the docks themselves, which is this way.
Well,
so I know you did that. Yeah, I know you did that review with Victor Comics. Unfortunately, we don't have any sort of 17th century, 18th century ships of the line in this harbor. They're all quite simple.
I would
by
hope
comparison. Not. Exactly, yeah. This house behind you, this big mansion, up on the. Where are you? Not sure where you are. Yeah, so this house here, this is Círdan's house. Círdan was the Lord of the Havens at this point, so he lived in this mansion here. He had been around and kind of lived near the sea for thousands of years, going all the way back to the First Age, and so he was known as Círdan the Shipwright. He made ships and commanded others to make ships as well. And so he was one of the very last to leave after all the other elves had kind of sailed into the west.
So I noticed how open everything is, so that means the climate here is rather warm?
Yes, it's definitely quite balmy near the sea, and part of that, we would suspect anyways, is kind of the influence, the magic of the elves.
This is incredible. Flower pots.
Yes, yeah, that's one of
that just amazes me right there. Monsterfish, add that. It's crazy. A great added block there.
Yeah, so we'll keep flying around the city. If you have a look at the docks, here's a dry dock. Actually, you might have already seen this.
Yeah.
This is where they construct the ships.
Very cool crane.
And there's
also that a lot.
User joined
and there's
your
a lot
channel.
of
User
there's
left
a lot
your
of ships
channel.
on top of here as well. Diagonal ships, which are an absolute nightmare to build, and we still have a new type of block to add for those, so they're not entirely done. And we have a lot of ships flying in the sky as well. Lots of concepts people are making for them.
Yeah, I love these ships, and I love especially the ones with that sort of flicky bit in the back.
Yeah,
comes sort of up and around. That is a really cool and neat style of design here, and also that they are diagonal. Kudos for that.
Yeah, tough to do.
I'm sure.
So if you just keep flying along the docks, kind of northeast, you'll see more stuff. Again,
Wait, am I going the right way?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Yeah, the city looks like it's being very well done, and it looks very much almost complete. All you gotta do is interiors and such like that. I don't see many skeletons of houses or anything. It seems very filled in.
Yes, here's the crazy thing. This is just one side of the city. There's another whole half to the city on the other side of the.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that finished, or is that
No,
still being worked on?
that's very much less done than this side.
Okay.
So as you can see, there's a lot of work still to be done. So
Yeah,
these houses up here, these are all like mansions of the nobility.
Yes.
The elven nobility will live up here, and kind of the normal elves will live in the houses further down. Here's a cool detail. If you turn around, where is it? Might have lost it. Yeah, here. So if you fly down here, it's a cool little detail one of our builders came up with. This is a garden, but look at the actual garden's been made in the shape of a ship floating in this pool.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I do see that.
And the tree is the mast. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see. So the garden is the shape. Oh, I gotcha. That's really cool. I was looking from up above, but yeah.
No.
I do see that now. The garden is shaped like a ship. Wow. See, things like this just raises the wow factor, and just, it's incredible to see things so well thought out and so unique that you just haven't seen it before. That's very nice. Nice little horse here.
Yep,
very cool.
A horse, and I think this represents Orome, who was one of the gods, the god who found the elves in the first place when they first awoke, and his horse. So he was like he was the god who found the elves and brought them west
very
to
cool.
the Undying Lands. Yeah.
So, anyways, I think we've seen enough of. I mean, is there anything other specific you want to show us of Mithlond?
We'll pop across to the north quickly just to show you the fact that there is another side, and it is also about as big. Let me just.
Okay, yeah, TP
teleport you.
I love this little fort over here. It's a mansion, but is this a barracks?
TP Jukon, let me check. Yes, so this is a fort on the edge of the city. Yeah, so this is an armory where they keep most. Yeah, this is more of a military installation.
Cool. Yeah. Love that. Love it.
Yeah, so I'll teleport you here. Just to give your viewers an idea of the extent of this city. It keeps going. So this is the other side of the Firth.
So as you can see, we were over there. Okay, that's just all rendered out. But now we're rendering this over here. But yeah,
so this is a lot less done, but it's still, it gives you an idea.
This is going to be a very large city, and there's nothing copy and pasted, is there?
No,
it's all
we never do that. Yeah, so it's all individually built stuff. It's huge, in a word.
It's crazy. So many things to see. Wow. Okay, what's this big round building up here? Some kind of council hall?
Well, you nailed it on the head. Yeah, that's essentially the meeting hall, which we've just started building. So, again, not done.
So I guess the person talking would sit in the middle or stand in the middle, and then all the council members would stand around the circle and listen.
Exactly. Yeah. So
and yell at each other.
Yeah. So I assume this sort of thing came more into use after the king died, so it became less of a monarchy and more of a kind of
democracy.
Republic. More of a republic. Yeah, I don't know if the elves how democratic they are. And I talked about the theatre earlier. There's a big building floating up here, which we're going to use.
I'm looking at that now.
And there's going to be no. This is it was an old version of the meeting hall, but we decided we'd move it to another place because it was too big. But it's still quite cool.
My goodness, this would make a. I mean, honestly, I think this is I don't know, but still, this looks like more of a meeting hall to me.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to use it, and there are 2 other elven cities for us to build and land on, so.
Okay.
It will be included. And
so will the elven architecture pretty much be the same across the different cities, or
kind of? Yeah, there's going to be a city called Harland, which is to the west of here, and that's going to be more like earthy tones. We're going to be using more yellow and red, but a similar kind of architecture. Okay. And one called Forland, which is going to be more like white walls instead of grey. So there'll be differences, but there'll be general broad similarities. And this is the theatre I was talking about.
The start to your amphitheater here. Very cool.
Exactly.
I like that a lot. I like how you guys are really trying to go for the diagonal.
Yeah, so Mithlond is the first city where we've really, really emphasized that. We really want to show that. Teleport you to this. We really want to show that we can make buildings look really good diagonal. So there's this building here, for example, which has just started. But you can see it almost looks straight from the front, but actually it is on a slight curve and stuff like that, which just adds to the quality and level of detail.
Yes, that is very cool. All right, so we're heading to a dwarven mine now, aren't we?
We are something very different now.
Okay.
So if I warp you there, this is again another work in progress thing. But this is located in the Blue Mountains. This is kind of to the southwest of Mithlond.
So before we enter, how big is this mine? How far in are we expected to go?
It's not Moria, shall we put it that way? It's quite small by dwarven mine standards, actually. So we should be able to see a fairly decent amount of it. The dwarves, as well as having their great cities like Erebor and Moria, they also had smaller mines like this.
I love this rock texture.
Yeah, this is meant to be slate, I think. No, sorry, schist. I got confused. Yeah, it's schist rock, kind of a blue schist, which is where the Blue Mountains get their name from.
Oh, this is so cool. Very cool. You just get this. Okay, the same thing goes with hobbits and elves. The same thing goes with dwarves. You can just know this is dwarven. This is so
instantly,
nice.
Yeah.
Wow. Really well done.
That's their kind of customs office, and their, even though this is still fantasy, we still think about this stuff. So this is a housing area here.
Wow.
So yeah, the houses are built into the walls.
We'll just take a look at one house and get the idea of what all is in the house. Got a little,
so it's very much carved
there.
into the rock still. Yeah.
Got a bed. I guess this is for all the kids or something.
Could be. I wasn't building this project, so I can't tell you.
But yeah, this is really cool. I like it. I like it a lot. So let's keep moving on and see what else there is to see. This particularly wows me because I've always loved dwarven style, and yeah, this is great.
You can see the corridors are quite maze-like, and I'm actually slightly lost. Oh no, I'm not. It's down here.
The only thing that kind of bothers me is these carved blocks. I'm not a big fan of just this texture. I mean, it makes good for gate runners and stuff, but I don't know. It just doesn't fit in this setting, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's a bit circular. I know it's this stuff I haven't supervised too much, so it might be changed in the future. There's one thing which I should mention actually, really, before we continue here. The dwarven stuff, we haven't really made any dwarven textures yet. So unlike Mithlond, where we have a lot of custom-made textures designed specifically for the elves, we don't have much for the dwarves yet. Okay. So this stuff is all being built provisionally kind of before we have those textures, and it will be revamped.
I just love the shape of everything. It's so well thought out, so well done.
Yeah, if you come down here, this is the main...
Oh, I love these skylights.
Yes.
I just realized that. I was wondering what those were at first, but now I realize that they're skylights.
Yeah, which is something dwarves did a lot of, actually. And obviously in the books, I think Tolkien explains it, where they have a series of reflecting mirrors, but obviously in Minecraft that's not necessary or really feasible.
Here's something big.
Yeah, this is their main feasting hall. So this is the largest hall in this mine. Again, relatively small hall by dwarven standards, but eventually we will have huge ones.
This is incredible. Goodness. It's huge. Very well done. And
you can see this is where they all feast. There are houses carved into the east side of the hall, if you see.
Yes.
Pretty cool.
So this system here, there would be kings, right? Would this be like a lord or a baron?
This would be, maybe even as low as an earl almost, whatever equivalent the dwarves had. There's going to be at least 5 mines like this in the southern Blue Mountains, probably 10, maybe up to 10 total across the whole Blue Mountains. But all of these dwarves kind of, they swear fealty to Erebor and to the king in Erebor, essentially. So they're kind of, their loyalties are placed there, which is very far away, but they're still ruled from Erebor, essentially. But they will have local lords, I imagine.
Isn't Erebor the most wealthy, most powerful dwarven kingdom, or is it?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. So essentially, that started out as being Moria, which is this is all part of the line of Durin, the line of kings of Durin. That started out as Moria, but when Moria fell, Erebor became the new capital. Okay. And they went from there, essentially.
Very cool. I'm really enjoying looking through this. Mithlond was cool, very cool. All the Hobbit stuff was cool, very cool, but I don't know what it is. But something with me and lots of stone is Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah, some people definitely have preferences, and we definitely have people on the server who just love the dwarves. People on the server who love the hobbits. You know, it's all about what you like the
Personal
most. And the great
preference,
thing, yeah, and the great thing about Middle Earth is it allows you that variety. You know, there is a huge amount of different styles and cultures and peoples that live in Middle Earth, and you know, you get to build all of them, which is fantastic, I think.
So is there more to see around in here, or like is
Not
there an actually mine portion that we can
Yeah,
look at?
that's being begun, I think. Oh, this is another housing area, quite a cool one actually. You can see
I
the
love
different
this.
levels.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I see. Like you'll have more houses down here, and
yeah. So
yeah,
the
this
idea
is
is
really cool.
this area used to be a mine, but then once they mined all the ore out of it, it got turned into housing essentially.
Like, we already got a cave. Might as well just go ahead and start living here.
Exactly.
So I mean, this is probably just kind of an objective question, but as far as when they would mine these, would they find chasms and just start mining the sides, or was all of this stone mined out?
In schist, no, you wouldn't really get big caverns. That's more of a limestone thing. I talk about geological accuracy. So we don't have massive big caves in these with, you know, big hanging stalactites and stuff, because that's just not accurate to the geology. So yeah, this stuff all would have been mined out by the dwarves over a period of, you know, hundreds, if not thousands of years. Yeah.
Yeah, it would take a while to do something like this.
Absolutely, yeah. Whereas places like Moria, they'll have more limestone in them, so you'll get these big natural caves.
Yeah. All right, so where are we headed now?
We are now going to be heading to, we've been talking about Erebor, and we've been talking about that, it's this place's connection to Erebor. And something we've released recently, and this is kind of going off our path a little bit, but one of my builders, called Glove, he wanted to do Dale himself. So he wanted to do the Kingdom of Dale, the village.
I found something.
Oh, did he? Yeah, he wanted to do that, and so after much pestering, oh yeah, this is going to be the forge when it's made. So on either side, this is going to be these two big blast furnaces for smelting the ore, and then in the middle you'll have places where they can shape the bars.
This is incredible.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
So much.
So talking about so therefore I decided to make the Lonely Mountain for Glove, released it to the server, and he started Dale. So this Dale is, just to give you an idea, it is roughly about 23,000 blocks away from the Shire.
Okay, so it's very, very far away.
It's like, for Minecraft, that's huge. So this here, I'll walk you to it now. This has only been recently started, so this should give you an idea, however. So, welcome to Dale.
Yes.
Most of the fields are done around Dale. But this is the beginning of the city itself. All this area in front of the main walls is going to be like lower class housing, more kind of thatch. And then as you go further in, it becomes slate, it becomes more rich housing.
I would have thought Dale would have been bigger.
Well, it's set in a fairly constricted space. I mean, Dale is it's in a mountain valley, so it's in between two large ridges, and it's also centered around, built around the curve in this river.
Okay.
So I don't know where you are, but if you look to your right, see this white outline?
Yes.
So that's all going to be like poorer housing.
Okay.
So the city will be, you know, bigger than just the walls. But the walls themselves, yeah, it starts out as a fairly small city.
Okay.
Yeah, Dale, as you've probably known from the movies, it's kind of the town of men who lived outside the kingdom of Erebor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, they got as destroyed by the dragon as the dwarves of Erebor did. But this server is set 60 years after the Hobbit, and so this place has been rebuilt. It's been restored to its former glory, and now it's now a thriving market town once again.
I love the paved stones, the little blue lines through that and everything.
Yeah, so
Very
Tolkien mentioned that the streets were streets of many colors, and so we thought about how to do that and make it look good, and we came up with this. And so this here is the kind of main keep, castle where the king would live.
Yes.
He kind of rules over a kind of large kingdom which stretches far to the south and east of Dale. Actually, includes Lake Town, includes a lot of other unnamed cities. Yeah, and you can see this is again quite different from Bree. It has the similarities to Bree, but it's quite different. It's more of a kind of Germanic market town feel. That's where we've got most of our inspiration from.
Yes.
So a good example, if I teleport you, would be just this facade here. Hang on.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I like all the different little jut outs and everything.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
The
You definitely can tell the Tudor Germanic style from it.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, there's not much to see in the city, as you can tell.
So let's go see the Gates of Erebor real quick.
Absolutely, let's do that. Should we just fly there just to show the kind of
Oh, I can't
scale?
fly fast, but yeah, let's go ahead and fly there so we can see all the fields and everything. Am I going the right direction?
You are. So if you go out to the crossroads and then turn north, you should.
North. Is that left or right?
That's right. If there is an inn actually ahead of you, which you might want to have a look at as well.
Okay. The road stops. Okay, so I need to go left.
Oh no, it's fine.
Oh wait,
this is going to be a bridge. Again, all very in progress.
Oh, okay. I didn't see the road continuing over here. All right, so this leads up to the Gates of Erebor then.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, I
see. This was done. So this is a cool. If you look to the left, this is the beginning of the river running. A very rocky little stream that flowed out from the gate.
And lots of iron.
Oh, have you not got the most recent? Ah, damn.
No, oh yes. 1 sec. Let me get that. I did get it, but I didn't put it on yet. Let me do that real fast.
Yeah, because that'll. That's not how it's supposed to look.
Alrighty, now that looks much better.
Yes, this rock is andesite, so it's a volcanic rock. Erebor's kind of geology is that of an extinct volcano, essentially. And so this whole area is made out of very dense volcanic rock. And this leads up to the main gate.
I love how you put specific rocks in specific areas. You know, not many people would have thought of that, but you.
Yeah,
we guys
actually
did.
We have 3 professional geologists who consult us. We consult them on this stuff. So we ask them about what is most likely, and they tell us. So yeah, it's a big part of what we do here. So yeah, this whole gate is obviously quite different to the film. And it's kind of it's a lot more defensive, at least in our opinion. So you have this outside bit, right?
Yeah.
The door you'd cut. So imagine if you're an attacker, you come up here, you reach this portcullis here. Now in all the walls there are multiple levels of murder holes. So down at the bottom here, right at the bottom, you have a little you turn down here.
Oh, I see that. Yeah.
You have crossbows shooting out from here, and here, and here. Above in the ceiling, we're planning on having holes through which burning oil.
Throw oil down and stuff.
Yeah. And so essentially, you'd be attacking this very small gate while your entire army's being killed. So no one in their right mind would seek to attack this place.
Yeah, I see that this would be a rather difficult thing to.
And there are no walls to assault because it's a mountain. So you're not going to be in a good place to try to attack it. And then up here, I think above the gate, you have the kind of watchtower. So this is where a lot of the guards would be. It's just, again, not really very done, but gives you an idea.
I gotcha. Okay. So a place where they can sort of just stand and
look out for intruders. Exactly.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right. So is there anything past the gate that we can see?
This is kind of like a false background, essentially. There is stuff, but it rapidly ends. The idea with Erebor is the mountain is big, and I think we can go and look at the top of the mountain to finish off the video. But the mountain is not big enough for Erebor itself, for the interior. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a system by which if the player walks inside a bit, and then once they get a certain amount inside, they'll be teleported to an identical copy, and then they can walk further inside the mountain. So it'll be in a separate place where we can expand as much as we need to.
I gotcha. So you could just keep moving, keep adding, Yeah, I gotcha.
Exactly,
that sounds really
neat. So if you come, move north, and we'll go right to the top of this mountain. So this is an absolutely vast mountain, as you can tell.
Well, the Lonely Mountain is supposed to be a big daggone mountain. Isn't this the tallest mountain in Middle Earth?
One of, there are others which are part of larger mountain chains, which I think, are supposed to be taller. But yeah, this is definitely one of the bigger ones. And right at the top,
closing near the peak now.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, this used to be a volcano.
Exactly. So the volcanic rock all contributes to it. So this is now obviously an extinct caldera with a pool at the top. But once it was a volcano.
Very, very cool. I did not know that. I thought that it was actually just a naturally formed mountain, but I guess I could have taken the hint when you said volcanic rock.
Yes, essentially.
But yeah, this is very cool. I love it.
And if you follow me down this way, I can have a look at the secret door, which I'm sure you remember from the films.
Yes.
When they come to, so it's a very different place in the film, but here in the books, it was in a little secret hidden valley. And yeah, at the moment, obviously not done at all, but it just gives you an idea of the location. So they came down this very steep path here, and then there was a little, where I am here, they came to a little, you could call it ledge, that led along, that was carved by the doors, but carved to look, be very unnoticeable. You would never notice this from lower down. And then you come in here, and eventually you'd find this wall of rock, which right now isn't a wall of rock. And yeah, this is not lore, but yeah, this is where it's going to be eventually.
Well,
and this will lead.
Very cool. I love it.
This will lead down into the treasure room where Smaug used to live.
So there will be a stream coming down through this little valley here?
Yeah, it's all marked.
Okay.
But it's not done yet. And this terrain has all been done through World Painter.
Very, 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 very neat. I love it. Are you going to be adding any highlights into the stone or anything, or is it going to maintain as the volcanic stone?
We might be adding highlights, but it'll still be volcanic. It'll be different types of volcanic stone if we add the highlights. Yeah.
Well, very cool. This has been a very enjoyable walkthrough. Again, one more time. I know I've asked you 3 times before, but can you tell the viewers how they can come join the Ardacraft server?
So link in the description. It'll be a link directly to the mod pack. So you go to there. You download either the installer, the launcher, which does everything for you, or you download the self-install, which is something where you basically have to install Forge for yourself and drag and drop a bunch of files, and that's done. Either way, it's very easy, and you should be able to join the server at nc.ardacraft.me and explore for yourself. As I've said before, each of these videos, even though they're quite long, we're showing you so little of what we've actually done, and this world is so detailed and so huge, so it's absolutely worth coming on and checking it out for yourself.
And before we end, one final question, and this is, I'm sure some people are wondering how this is done, but how do you make this map? Like, how do you, you said you have the Hobbit area, Bree, and stuff like that, and then you say you release certain sections of it. Can you kind of explain how that's done?
Yeah, so essentially I have a single large wall-painted map with Middle-earth on it. Most of it isn't done because of the massive amount of detail I put into each section. So what I do is, when I have this single map, with World Painter you can export certain sections of maps. So essentially what I do is I export a small section of it, I release it to the server, and we add it onto the map. So essentially we're adding pieces like a jigsaw puzzle as we go. So I release stuff as needed. If that makes any sense. So the more we do, the more I'll add on, and never functions in that way, rather than me doing all of Middle-earth at once, which would take like 2 years, and nothing would happen in that time.
Exactly. So it's much more economical and efficient to have little sections of it released at a time and to be built at a time, so that there's always progress being done. And that is a really cool system, and I respect respect you guys for that, for maintaining that efficient nature of your building.
Yeah, I mean the map is, if you get a sense from that the map is small, it's already 23 kilometers across and growing. So it's not just small little sections. These are pretty substantial chunks of terrain I'm doing.
Exactly. Yeah. But anyways, I think that will be the conclusion for this video. Thank you so much, Fornad, for showing us through this amazing build through this server. There's many builds on this server, but thank you so much for it. I've really had a lot of fun with this, and I'm sure the viewers have really enjoyed all of the incredible things to see, because, again, there is so much to see. And so you guys, come check this server out. The link will be in the description below. Follow the instructions, and you will definitely not be disappointed. So again, thank you, Fornad. You all have a great day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you on the next one. Till then, bye-bye.